Let's talk surrogates. So whether you're going through an agency like Surrogacy UK like we are, or whether you are doing it through another agency or an independent journey, you are going to need a surrogate. But in the UK at least, the surrogates have all the say. You don't get to pick a surrogate. So let's just knock that on the head straight away. You won't be picking a surrogate. The surrogates will be picking you. So that opens up a whole new question. How do I make myself more appealing for a surrogate? What do surrogates want? What are they looking for? Well, actually the question's bigger than that. It's not just a surrogate. More often than not, a surrogate will come with a family of their own. Most surrogates would have had a child of their own before they go into surrogacy, so there will be another kid to consider as well. Surrogates will more than likely have a partner or their own family situation. So you're not just trying to find and win over a surrogate, you're actually trying to win over a surrogate and their family. But what can you do to make yourself more appealing for a surrogate? Nothing. Here's a revelation. Surrogates are people. Surrogates are people just like you. And they have their own likes, their own dislikes, their own loves, their own hates. And so you are not trying to win someone over, you are trying to be yourself. Maybe the best version of yourself, but you're trying to show people who you are, and you need the surrogates to see that. So with an agency like SUK, where we're a part of, we put ourselves out there as honest as we can. We are truly ourselves, warts and all. We have heard of some surrogates that will say they're not interested in us because they've already got kids. They don't need two grown-up kids on top of that. There'll be other surrogates that aren't looking to help a same-sex couple. On the flip side, there will be surrogates out there who only want to help a same-sex couple. There's a whole different set of emotions going on when a surrogate sweeps in to provide a miracle to gay couples than a surrogate who comes in to assist a family who can't have their own baby because the lady can't conceive herself. There's a whole different set of emotions going on. You might get surrogates that only want to help people in a certain scenario. They might have gone through a certain illness themselves, or a family member might have gone through something similar. So all I can suggest when it comes to making yourself popular, to finding a surrogate is to be yourselves, and to be yourselves openly. There will be surrogates out there who don't want to do the whole social side of things and go out and meet people, and there will be IPs, intended parents, that don't want to do that either. So the trick in that scenario is, how do you find each other? And quite often that will be through Facebook groups and things like that will put similar minded people in touch. If you want to achieve expert level in getting noticed, make sure you make full use of the online boards, whatever social media your particular surrogacy group uses. And for bonus points, get tagged lots. Meet people within that group, have pictures taken, make sure everyone's tagged. That way, people that are friends with one lot will see you too. So for expert level noticeability, get using the online options and have other people talk about you too. Make sense? So when it comes to finding a surrogate, just be yourself. But be yourself in a way that's public enough for them to find you, if that makes sense. So use the social boards, Facebook groups, WhatsApp groups, if you can find them. If you are up for doing the face-to-face or online social events, or the equivalent that other surrogacy groups do them. Be yourself, don't lie, don't try to be anything that you aren't. Surrogates talk amongst themselves, so even if you're not right for them, you may well be right for a surrogate that they know. Surrogates have quite a tight-knit network. They support each other, they advise each other, they offer opinions to each other. So be yourself, and if you're not right for one surrogate, they may well put someone in touch with you. Okay, that's my thoughts of the day. Next up, when you've got a surrogate, what do you do with them? Well, in the surrogacy groups that we use, SUK, we then go into a period of time called a getting to know you period, a GTK. And this is a fixed 3-month period of time where you just hang out and get to know each other. Our surrogacy group is all about friendship first. You're forming relationships. These surrogates are not benefiting financially, not really. You're just paying for expenses, so they have to want to help you. So we're building friendships. So this getting to know you period, just make sure that all of the awkward stuff you're all on alignment with. This is a surrogacy agreement. Now, whatever organisation you are with, there will probably have some form of agreement for you to sign with your surrogate to make sure that everyone is talking on the same page. It's not legally binding, but if everyone's honest and answers the questions truthfully, then at least you all know where you stand, and that will help during the getting to know you period. Ultimately, you cannot progress into a team and start trying for baby until everyone's seen this and signed it off. Now, it is a confidential agreement. However, the type of things that we had to talk about when we were going through it with Alex, things like insurance and wills, where does your money go if you die, awkward stuff like that. What happens if someone dies? What happens if we both died, me and my other half, whilst Alex was pregnant with our baby? What would happen then? Awkward stuff like that. All the sorts of tests, sexually transmitted diseases, has everyone been given the clear for all of those, including the surrogate's partner if she has one. So that's awkward. When it comes to trying to conceive, does the surrogate not drink alcohol, stuff like that? Do they promise to abstain because you don't want accidentally surrogate's other half suddenly becoming a dad by mistake at the same time? So that has to be considered. Then it's how many embryos, when you have them, are you going to plant at one time? Are you going to do one at a time? What about the risk of them splitting if you do multiples? What happens if there are multiple pregnancies, babies, embryos growing, fetuses? What happens if there's an issue with any of them medically? At what point would you consider termination? And awkward stuff like that. How will you announce the pregnancy? Will you announce the pregnancy? I would imagine for a straight couple, the intended mother is going to have to go through a whole lot of extra emotions in terms of announcing a baby is on the way whilst not being the carrier. I can't comment on that because we get to skip right past that emotional bomb and just go straight into, hey, aren't we lucky, we've got a miracle. Decisions during pregnancy. What happens during the birth? Is there a birthing plan? Who's the birthing partner? So all of these awkward questions are all dealt with in advance. So once you've gone through your getting to know you period, you might as well go through those questions sooner rather than later in whatever form of agreement you've got with your organisation. Get everyone signed off on it. Then when it comes to the end of that getting to know you period, you're all on the same page and you can start going straight away with an agreement that everyone knows in place. Assuming, of course, there's no red flags and both surrogate and IPs are very happy to go ahead and the GTK has been a successful and wonderful experience, then you are ready to go. That's how it was for us, because we're now at the point where we are trying for baby, and that will be the next video, I think. But what if you don't get on during your GTK? Now, we know a few people where their getting to know you periods have highlighted concerns or just compatibility issues. Now, it's awkward for sure, but everyone is in this for the right reasons. And if your surrogate has red flags about you, or if you have red flags about your surrogate, you can end it, and you can try again if you can find another surrogate. One thing to consider is don't burn your bridges. And what I mean by that is conduct yourself in a mature and grown up way. Acknowledge them if you're making any statements publicly. Just be polite about it, because if you're going to be a dick, then the surrogates will talk, and everyone will know you're being a dick. Yeah. So if it doesn't go well, firstly, I'm sorry, because that's disappointing. And secondly, don't worry, it's cool. We'll just try again. Right. I think that's all I've got to talk about on this subject. Any questions, drop them below. Subscribe, get notifications, because I'll be posting another video at some point soon. And I'll see you next time. Ta-ra! Oh, my teeth's gone cold.